Toyotas all came off the track in unison. Whoa. Brake lock up there.
Where's he going? Eric Jones, you can see the yellow stripe across his rear bumper.
And as the Toyotas go to the garage, it is Chevrolet's turn. Six Chevys led by Ty Dillon. Paul Menard, Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson.
And again, these cars, they have a different plan. You know, we look at this. Jimmy Johnson gets up side by side with Paul Menard. He's following his teammate Chase Elliott. Here comes Dale Jr. following right behind Jimmy Johnson as well. They're not doing the same type of organized syncrasy, I guess we could call it. These guys are just racing. They're just trying to see, hey, can I get something going here? What do I have to do? Do I back up to this car behind me, get a push? If I turn here brake aggressively in the middle of the corner, can I turn down underneath somebody? They're doing things that are more what's going to happen in the race. The Toyotas were more of, hey, you lead for a little bit, and you go to the back. Could be maybe they're checking their air intake and cooling and tape. You know, they obviously have a much different plan.
I think the difference, though, might be, too, the Toyotas seem to be equally matched in speed. They all seem to be able to run similar speeds, so one's not a lot faster or a lot slower than the other. I'm not so sure these Chevys are all matched up in speed.
And they're from different teams.
Yeah, they're different teams, and so it's just it's a bit of a different scenario. I think they're trying to accomplish the same things, but it's just a difference in the two manufacturers.
And what you pointed out in the first practice, Darrell, what's really different is Jimmy Johnson doing drafting practice. That's something he and Chad Knaus have avoided at Daytona and Talladega over the past several races and just made single car runs. But with the week Jimmy Johnson's had, he's been out there in both sessions drafting along.
Yeah, I think that's confidence. I think he wants to get out there in that car and be sure that car's good. But I think it's good for him, too, to kind of work the mirrors and work the traffic and be sure he's got his act together.
Let's follow up on that tire story with Kyle Busch. Jamie.
Well, they had a perfectly laid plan until Kyle said on the radio, and we heard him say it got skatey all of a sudden on the track, so they thought maybe it was a tire issue. He brought it in. They removed both tires from the rear end of the car, looked him over, then put him back on. So I just asked his crew chief, Adam Stevens, what's going on, and he said, we're not sure. There was nothing that we saw under the car or on the tires. So they continue to look at their data, all the engineers down here talking and looking it over.
Well, still a question mark. So I guess given that, you got to go back out and find out.
I don't think that's the way you want to end your day.
No.
It's all about getting answers, not having more questions.
When I use the word panicking, I'm not lying. I mean, there's a team that all of a sudden we're running out of time, we're running out of practice, and all of a sudden you say we got a problem, and we don't know what it is.
Now, we do have one more practice session tomorrow. The race engines will all be in by then.
But these conditions right here are perfect. These are race conditions. And so if all of a sudden your car is not happy in these conditions, what do we need to do to make it happy?
I can tell you who's having a lot of fun right now and getting quite the education. That's Ty Dillon in his 13 car. I mean, he's getting to go out there and draft side by side with the best in the business. Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Chase Elliott. I mean, that's cool.
That little 13 car, though, was a pretty good restrictor plate car. Boogie Barker, when Casey Mears drove this car, they had some pretty good finishes at Daytona and Talladega with that little car.
Casey Mears is going to run some Xfinity Series races this year. Ty Dillon is now behind the wheel of 13. Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth fastest.